ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of KBC Podcast. And I'm your host, tnyce. And guys, today I'm with Chichi.
Hello guys. Yay, welcome to yet another exciting episode of your favorite show. And today we are joined by an award-winning model, an activist, a lawyer by profession, Miss Ayanda Candice.
Ayanda Candice, everybody. How are you, Ayanda?
Hey guys, what's up?
How are you doing?
And what's up to everybody who's watching us from wherever you're watching us from?
Thank you, and it's a pleasure. The interview, it's one of those. We wanted to break also a cycle. People thought we only do music interview.
Exactly.
We only interview people wanted as a music. So this is one of them. It's gonna show the other side of us as well, and having you on our show is a pleasure.
I'm so happy to be here. It's really an honor. I always appreciate people open their platform to creatives so that they share whatever they can share about their work. So I'm so grateful to be here.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. And if you can introduce yourself for those who are watching and might not know who is Ayanda Candice, just give them an outline of who is Ayanda Candice.
Ooh, okay. So my name is Ayanda Candice, and I am 23 years old, born and raised in the beautiful city of Kings and Queens, Bovalayo, Apumla South Emadonki.
And the last episode, I think from the last episode we had Baga was from Blues as well.
Yeah.
And the next one now we're having Ayanda Candice from Blues.
From Blues.
So Arare Mufana so it stand up now, guys. There is a big challenge coming from that side, Matebeleland.
Yes.
Yeah, man. And
so I am a law graduate, actually a recent law graduate. I graduated in September. I am a professional model. I'm an aspiring actress. I'm an yet to be a published author.
Okay.
I am I'm just a lot of
She's
things.
just going
she's
on.
a bunch of
Yeah,
things.
I'm a humanitarian and
Oh.
I'm a girl advocate.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's great. Okay, so maybe I'll start talking about pageantry. Like, when did you got your first recognition? Which year? What were you doing? What was the occasion?
Okay, so with pageantry, I did my very first pageant. I think I was 7 years old,
Okay.
which was Miss Dumez in primary school. You know how growing up, I don't know if they still do it, but we used to have those pageants as fundraising in a way, where they're just like Miss Valentine and people pay $1. Back then it was ZIM'S dollars.
Sounds cool.
Yeah, to come and watch and all that. So it was like a fundraising event.
Okay.
But that was my first, I think the first time ever I fell in love with being on stage. Although, the funny thing is, I had the same outfit for all the categories. So there would be swimsuit, and I would walk
That was
in
your
with
name.
the same,
Nickname swimsuit.
traditional, same thing.
Oh.
Evening, same thing.
Okay, were you a
Because
swimmer or
I
something?
just brought one dress that I liked that I was bought for Christmas.
All right.
So it was February now. So it was a month or so old.
After,
so it was still new.
It was still new.
so was it something that, did you introduce yourself to that, or was it your parents that were like, okay, I think this should be something
No,
that
it
you
was
should
all me. Hey, it was, how they would advertise among students and say, hey, this is what's happening. And I went home and I was like, I want to do this. So I was like, can you give me money to sign up? They were like, okay.
Okay, at least you had supportive parents. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a good
definitely.
thing.
Well, they supported then I was very young. So
Okay.
it was all cute and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where I began, and then trust me, I forgot about modeling for a very long time until I was 17.
Okay, and then that's when you
17
got
from-
back.
Yeah, from when I was 7. So I would
That's
enter
almost
the
10 years.
pageant annually,
Uh-huh.
but it was never something I stuck to. So it was just a
Okay.
hobby.
One
Someone
of
plays
those things.
netball not because they are passionate about it,
But they just like it. I mean,
Exactly.
Well, sometimes they are good at that, but they are not really passionate about what
Yeah.
they do.
Exactly. And I think it's also because I never really had push you know.
Mm-hmm.
With some parents, when they realize you love something, they push you to, you know. But with me, it was just like,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Siriko ndizozo.
Yeah.
And from I think you say you were 7 years old when you started.
Yeah.
And then you took a break of 10 years.
10 years.
I
10
would
years.
A
say.
decade.
Yeah?
Because when I was 17, that's when I actually started doing it like professionally.
Okay.
I remember I watched a girl from South Africa being crowned. Her name was Demi-Lee Nell Peters. She was crowned Miss Universe 2017. I was like, I used to love this, you know.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't like cool for me to actually pursue it. And
Okay.
from then on, that's when I actually went to modeling school.
So this
And-
was in blues as well.
Yeah, this was all in blues. I went
Okay.
to modeling school and my teachers were so skeptical about it. They were like, oh my God, you're gonna fail. You are an A-level student.
Oh my
You're one of
God.
our best students. You are a prefect. You should lead by example and all that.
Okay.
You know, and I was in a typical, I think, a conservative school.
mhm.
It wasn't an A school like I would
All
call
right,
it. So
all right.
it was one of those schools where they actually push you
To, you know.
to focus on school if they
Uh-huh.
see potential in you. So
Yeah, they
like,
push you.
You have potential to be like, you know, our
Focus
best
on
student.
this.
So
Yeah,
focus
yeah,
on
yeah.
this. Yeah.
Okay.
That's beautiful, man. And so when you started again, was it when you got to the university or that was still in?
So 17, I was still in A level. That's when I started.
Okay.
And I trained with agency called Open Eyes Studio Modeling Agency. It's in
Okay.
Bly as well. And then after that, that's when I started trying to book gigs, you know, which was really hard because for me with my background and all, there were not a lot of people with albinism that had done modeling before.
All right.
So it was something that was very new, I think, to a lot of people.
I think I would say not a lot of people with albinism are very confident to stand in front of people that are looking different from how they look, and also thinking of how these people look at them. I think that brings a lot of people down, and I think you're also an inspiration to those
Yeah,
people.
I mean, I'm already inspired. That's like what he said. I mean, people with albinism. I think we're gonna take you a little bit down memory lane, like back, way back when you said you were doing in primary. Like, how did it go with your condition? I mean, with everyone around you, how were you treated, and how did you overcome whatever?
So I think growing up for me was very challenging.
Okay.
But I think the challenges I faced, I wouldn't compare them to what my sister went through because she grew up like in the 90s.
Oh.
So it was pretty
worse.
intense.
Okay.
Yeah. But when I was coming up now, it was like
It was better.
I had someone who's been through some stuff, so she would like
tell
me
yeah.
how to deal with certain situations.
and what you are likely to come across.
You know, it was
Okay.
always like if you stay out of trouble, you won't get in trouble with anyone, you know.
Okay.
So
List.
also, it was bad advice, I would say, because
Was it?
for someone who actually loved being out there, you know,
and then
for
you're
me
told
to
not
say,
to.
keep to yourself, keep quiet and all that, it was, you know.
Okay.
But I think I was just a different breed. I've always been very loud, very outspoken.
Okay.
So it was intense because it was easy for people to bully me.
Okay.
Which is something I think I still have childhood trauma.
Oh.
You know, sometimes
sad. You
someone
think
is having
about
like
it.
a nice conversation with me, and I'm in my head I'm just thinking this person is just you
Yeah,
know.
he thinks otherwise, or
Exactly. But yeah, it was really hard, and I grew up with the typical African parents. So sometimes it was never like, oh, stand up for yourself or that type of thing. It was
Alright.
always like, no, I think it's the same for any other child. When you go home and you're involved in a fight,
yeah.
the blame comes to
To
you.
Why
know.
were you involved in the fight?
Exactly.
Okay.
So that was the kind of setup that I grew up in.
Okay, not understanding your side as well.
Exactly. Like for me, it was like I was so happy. You know, when you're young, when you start going to school, you're so happy to be at school. But
Exactly.
it's now you're in an environment where everyone is just throwing those questions to you, like, why are you not the same as your brother or your sister?
Okay.
You know, because I had two sisters and a brother. Sorry.
Okay.
And it was like your two other siblings look like you,
okay.
and your other sibling.
And you're in the same school?
Yeah.
Oh, that was bad.
I was with my brother.
With your brother.
Exactly. But he was like 5 years older than me,
you.
so it's like you get to primary school, it's just 2 years together, and then he leaves, he
He's
goes to high
gone.
school.
And maybe you were supposed to be your defense.
Exactly. And then I get to high school, it's the same
It's the same thing. Oh
you
my
know, he's
God.
gone.
Okay.
So it was really hard. I had to overcome a lot.
But you're here, I mean.
I know.
We're here.
I always say to people that you never know how strong you are until you had to go through a lot.
A lot, yeah,
you know.
yeah.
And as an individual, I can attest to that and say I have been through a lot.
Oh my God.
But
And we thank God. I mean, you overcame all the obstacles,
Yeah.
and now you are the most inspiring person.
Exactly.
And at your age, I mean, it's nice.
yeah.
And also, saying Kuti, you went through a lot and going on and to win a lot of awards, so many awards. It's also good that you have something to say, other than having someone who's winning everything, but they don't have that story to tell you. Oh, I started like this. I was not being treated like this, the way that you think, the way I'm treated right now. I had to go through this and this and this for me to be here as well. So I think it had to happen.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I always look at it. I always look at it this way, right? Everyone has a story to tell, because at some point we all go through something.
Exactly.
But
one way or the other.
You may never know how powerful your
You
story
are.
is until you decide to tell it to the
To
next
the people.
person.
Yeah.
And for me, I believe in living as an example.
Okay.
You know, to motivate
Other
the next
people
person,
in
no
your
matter how old they
situation.
are or how young they are, because our stories are unique to us, but also they live to inspire other people. Yeah.
And 2020, I think that's when a lot of people knew who Ayanda Candice was, winning Miss UZ.
Miss University of
2020.
Zimbabwe.
How was it for you? How was the journey? How when you started, did you think you was going to win? Were you going in to win, or you were just participating and seeing how far you can get to?
I think I've always been very competitive, so that was the goal, you know, like
Yeah.
I was in it to win it.
Okay.
But also being someone we had so much knowledge about pageantry, I knew that it could go sideways. And I was in a class of amazing young women, you know, who were doing so much, so well in their respective lifestyles. So I knew it was going to be tough, and for me, I think it was very tough because when I went to use it, a lot of people didn't know who I was. They just knew there was an Ayanda Candice who's a model, but they didn't know who I was, because for me, it has always been about putting my work out there, not my face.
Okay.
So, I mean, you'd meet me in a club 1 or 2 times, but it
Okay,
was
1 or 2 times.
1 or 2 times, guys.
1 or 2 times every 2 days. 1 or 2 times.
But it wasn't something that I would do regularly,
Yeah,
or
okay.
even like in circles, you know, at university, people party a lot.
Exactly, and they have groups.
Exactly. So it was like that. It was I was not out there a lot.
All right.
So with Miss Use It, you need a following.
Yeah, you need to
people
be out
rooting
there.
for
Yeah, you need
you.
backing, yeah.
Exactly. So it was just like I knew that because I've been so reserved for the first year of
Now
my
you have to be
university
in the
life,
public side.
I don't have that much of a following. You know.
Okay.
And the people who knew me, they didn't even know me personally.
Okay.
They just knew there was Ayanda,
they,
okay. You know, so going into it, I think that was my biggest challenge.
Okay.
Also, you know, in as much as I know that people were not thinking about it, I was that in 12 years of Miss UZ, there had never been a girl like me who had tried out for it.
Oh, okay.
So
you had the confidence.
No, I had the confidence, but also I had the doubt. You know, I'm just thinking
am I
to
gonna
myself,
win it?
are they going to pick me? You know,
and I'm the first.
Exactly.
Okay.
So
That
that was the conflicting thoughts I had when I was going into it.
And after fighting with yourself, and
then
at the end,
Actually, you know what happened? We auditioned in February, and then COVID had hit.
Oh.
Yeah, so I was a finalist for like from February all the way up to like October.
Okay.
Because I think we competed in November. Yeah. So I think 2 weeks before the pageant, they called us. They were like, "Are you still interested in competing for Miss UZ?" And we were like, "Yes."
Yeah.
And then they were like, "Okay, cool. Where are you?" And I was like, "I'm in Loa." They're like, "Are you able to get into a bus and come?"
All right.
That time schools were closed because of, you know,
COVID.
So I think it took a lot for me to buy that bus ticket to come
You
to
were
Harare because I
battling
was
with
in
yourself.
Loa, yeah. But eventually I did, and I was at camp for like 2 weeks, and I had the most fun. I had an amazing roommate.
Wow.
We had dance classes with the amazing John Cole.
Okay. Shout out to all those guys.
You know, and
shout out to you guys.
exactly. And we had a modeling coach called Yuki.
Okay.
And she was also amazing. So it was, for me, I also went into it thinking to myself, if I'm not gonna come out of this experience with a crown, I want to come out a different person.
Okay.
And I did.
And you
like,
had to,
yeah. I got to learn some dance moves.
Oh my
My
God.
catwalk became better, you know.
Okay.
And I did so much work in terms of researching about Q&A, how to answer, what the other queens had done before and all that. So it was a learning experience for me.
Okay, and it was a
And
good
I won.
experience. And you won!
Which
Oh
was
my
amazing,
God.
but that's where the struggle began, unfortunately.
It began!
It's a struggle for
Let
you,
the
but for
struggle
us, because I think that's when most people started following you.
No, but then also that's
was the
where
hardest
the
part.
scrutiny came from. So it was like a celebration for a whole lot of people, you know.
Okay.
Like I had moms with children with albinism reaching out to me and saying, "I'm so glad you are in the public eye doing this. It means I know that my son or my daughter
It's gonna
can
make
also."
it. You see?
Yeah, but also it was like a lot of people were like,
you.
"No, she didn't get crowned because she deserved it. She just got crowned because they felt pity for her."
Oh my God.
You know, so
Yes.
that I got so many hate comments.
So many distractions.
You know.
I think it's always going to, even for not only for someone like you,
But for
also for
everyone.
us as well.
Yeah.
We also go through people talking, "Oh, you're not good enough,"
For
Exactly.
this.
or it's this and this and this.
Yeah.
And 2023, Miss, what is it? Miss Africa
Miss
ZIM.
Africa ZIM.
No, that was 2022.
That
That was
was
2022. Miss Africa ZIM
in
2022.
December, actually.
Yes.
Oh.
How was it? How was that? What, like, how was that? Did you guys go somewhere and do auditions, or what was it? How was that?
So, with Miss Africa, I actually, before I was Miss UZ, I auditioned for Miss Africa and I didn't make it. And then 2021, I went back and I made it with people 22.
Okay.
Exactly. I went in 2022, and for me, I think so far, in terms of pageantry, it's the most amazing experience I've ever had.
Wow.
Like, I can safely say I have friends in...
It's an upgrade from Miss UZ.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
it
was.
was. I mean,
It's an upgrade, and I have friends in almost each and every African country.
okay.
You know, not all of them, because
But
not, you know.
yeah, some of them.
Exactly, but I met amazing people.
Okay.
And my time in Nigeria was amazing. Like, Nigerian people, they're just
They're
a
just
vibe.
good. They're good.
You people think
I think they're
you can-
accepting. I would say they are very accepting of whoever.
Yeah,
is
they
doing
are.
good.
They
Yeah.
are. You know, you felt the love even at the airport. You know, like
the welcome.
exactly. When we landed there, we had people who didn't know
Who
helping
were
us
waiting
with our
for you.
luggage.
Oh my god.
No, just like people who work at the airport.
Oh,
there,
okay,
You
okay.
know, which is not the same
With
in-
hair or
because I was literally wearing a sash called Miss Africa Zimbabwe, and I was pushing my luggage like this
on your own.
on my own.
No
but when
one
I
even
got to
helped you.
Nigeria, I was like, "Oh, you're Miss Zimbabwe. Let me help you," and all that.
Oh,
So
wow.
it was really amazing, you know. And I might have not won. I made top 10, which is amazing.
Which it's
because
amazing. I mean, top
it's
10.
in Africa.
Africa.
You
Yeah,
know.
that's great.
I mean, the goal was to win, obviously, but I believe that God had
You
other
were there. I
plans.
mean, yeah. Plus, we still have more time. We still have more years. We're still, you know, looking forward for something bigger for you as well.
Exactly. So after it was the most amazing experience. Yeah.
Okay. So we talked about a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about modeling. I want to know your greatest passion, like your greatest aspiration.
So I think my greatest aspiration would to better the life of the next person the best way I can.
Okay.
I would say that's something that I'm very passionate
about.
Obviously, it's always been drawn to women because it's. I've been a young girl before. I've gone through certain traumas, certain trials and tribulations.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm better equipped to deal with certain
That's
girl
what strengthens
situations.
you. I mean, the highs and lows, they're good, they're healthy.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
strengthen you.
Exactly. So I believe that each and every struggle I went through in life was for me to learn something
To
so
be
that
who
I
you
can
are
come
today.
back and teach someone else.
Okay.
So I think that's my greatest passion. Obviously, one day I want to go to Miss Universe. Hopefully, win Miss Universe.
All the
Hopefully,
best. all the
representing
best, all
Zim,
the best.
obviously.
All
So
the
I think
best.
the whole Zimbabwe will be behind
Baking
your back.
you,
Yeah,
at that time. Yeah,
hopefully.
definitely.
I mean, I was a finalist for this year, but I didn't make top 12. I was in top 25.
Okay, that's
I didn't-
something.
Yeah, I didn't make top
I
12.
think the more you grow
You're
into
doing
it,
great.
Yeah.
definitely you
The
get
more
there.
you learn, and I've looked at this as an opportunity for me to grow and to learn,
Exactly.
so that I go
when you
back
get
as
there.
as a stronger person.
All right, I think we don't have time. We don't have time anymore. So if you guys want part 2 of Ayanda Candice, we still have a lot of questions that we still want to ask you, Ayanda. So if you guys want the second part 2 of Ayanda Candice, make sure you comment at part 2 yoyo.
The public
And
demand.
for me, Candice and Chichi, Togonai next time, guys. Thank you. We out.